Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. While we wait for whoever wants to join us, we'll settle ourselves down. Find a really comfortable spot to be in. Start some deep and slow belly breathing. Anthony, good morning, brother. Sean, a very good morning. Good to see you, dude. Anthony, hope you had a good Labor Day on your side. While we wait, settle into some really deep and slow belly breathing. I love, good morning, Pat. Hello. Good morning, Berdine. Hello. I love to see when a person gets this realization. Marcella, good morning. And Ursula, good morning. I love seeing when a person gets the realization that becoming conscious about your breath changes something in your state. And I know that initially it sounds weird because we breathe all the time. You've been breathing since you were born. So clearly we all know how to breathe. Good morning, Leshna. Hello, hello. Clearly we all know how to breathe. However, there's a difference between breathing and knowing how to breathe and consciously choosing to breathe. And it changes something in your state when you consciously choose to breathe. And I believe why that change is there is because breathing is one of the very few things that crosses the barrier, crosses the border of what we have control of and what we don't have control of. We have so many systems happening in our body, like our immune system and our digestion and your liver function and whatever else, that we have no control over. And in a sense, breathing has that element to it. It happens autonomically. We don't have to think about it. Breathing just happens. However, we can also become conscious about it. We can choose to breathe. And that takes us across a sort of a border from what we can control to the things we normally can't control. And I believe that's why breathing can be such a powerful tool to change your state. Because it lies on both sides of the border and it gives you access to the inside when you stop and you choose to breathe instead of just autonomically breathing. So we get another minute or so to go for whoever wants to jump online. Janine, a very good morning to you. It's good to see you. Hope you got the videos from last night. Please let me know if you did or didn't, so that I can make sure you're updated with us. It's good to have you guys. Right time is there. Today we're doing Come to Your Senses. Once again, we haven't done Come to Your Senses in a while now. I hope you enjoy this one. It gives us the opportunity to pay attention to all of our 5 physical senses. And by doing that, become really present and really feel into our bodies. It's one I like a lot, and it's a meditation you can do in a very short period of time as well. When you sit down, you go from top to bottom through all your senses and just pay a bit of attention of what am I experiencing in each one of these senses. So first off, it makes you choose to breathe. And number 2, it makes you explore. And that always brings us into a beautiful state of presence. So if you guys are ready, let's slip away into this beautiful space together. Timer is running. We'll start with the first few breaths. Let's take a deep breath in. And release. A deep breath in. And release. Deep inhale. And release. Deep breath in. And release. Continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Inhaling deeply in through your nose. And as you fill up that balloon in your belly, stretch out your spine. Make yourself just a little bit taller. And at the top of that breath, when you're ready to let go, soften your spine, slump your shoulders, drop your chin. Feel how with your inhale, there is a wave rising up powerfully inside of you, growing bigger and more powerful. And at the top of that wave, when you are ready, let go and let the wave collapse. Let the wave collapse, wash over you, and wash through you. Helping you let go of whatever you've been carrying. Helping you put down what doesn't serve you in this present moment. Mother Nature has always very clearly shown us how to create. The same way that a tree sprouts new green leaves in spring, carries them in a beautiful creation through summer, and then in autumn lets it all go as part of the cycle of creation. The same way a wave grows in strength and power, doesn't grow forever, without having on the other side of that wave a surrender, a letting go, a time for rest, a time for recovery, a time for making way for the next wave. There's always a balance of creating and also letting go. Creating and letting go, living together in surrender. Take the last few breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies completely surrender by loosening up, stretching out, and settling down. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you release, drop your chin. Rotate your neck muscles in big half circles to the left and to the right. Another deep breath in. And as you let go, rotate your shoulders in big circles forward. Take a deep breath in. And as you let go, rotate your shoulders in big circles backward. Taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, focus on your spine. Swaying your spine all the way over to the left and also to the right. Find the spots that put up a little bit of resistance and lean into them gently, helping them ease up. Taking one more deep breath in. And as you release, move, stretch, adjust. Every part of your body still needs help settling down. From this beautiful space of presence, we can do that deep dive inside. On every inhale, we'll hold our breath for just a few moments, followed by a long, slow release. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. And release. Continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Breathing deeply in through your nose, following the air down your throat. Staying with that air as it fills up your lungs. And then as you fill up the balloon in your belly, find yourself slipping into that space too. Hold your breath only for as long as you are comfortable with that breath hold, followed by a really long, slow exhale. With your next deep breath, simply try and experience what that space of fullness inside of you feels like. Dive down into that space of fullness in the balloon in your belly and see if you can just sit there for a while, surrendered. Take your next big breath. Starting with the journey of coming to our senses. Every deep inhale and dive inside will be an exploration of that, going from top to bottom through each of the 5 physical senses we have. First one will be our eyes, what you see without opening them. When you take your next deep breath, use your knowledge of the room you're sitting in to imagine you could see. When you take your next deep breath, what would be the most obvious thing for you to see? And then pay attention while you hold your breath to as much detail of this thing as you can. Take your next deep breath. Take your next deep breath and dive deep inside. Staying with your eyes. If you were to open them, what would be the least obvious thing you'd be able to see? Something you'd have to perhaps search for a little bit. And when you find it, spend your breath hold exploring as much detail of this tiny particle you found. Take your next deep breath. Moving on to our ears and what we can hear. On your next big breath, bring your attention to the most obvious sound that you can hear. For a few moments, see if you can make that all you can hear, absorbing every piece of that sound, making it a part of you. Take your next deep breath. On your next big breath, what is the faintest sound that you can hear? Imagine like a cat, you can really strain your ears, move them with those muscles around the head, and zoom in on that really faint sound. Zoom in and drink it in. See if you can make it the only thing you hear. Take your next deep breath. moving down to your nose and what you can smell. Try and do this in one breath hold. But of course, if you couldn't smell anything in one breath, you're welcome to take a couple of easy breaths to find out what it is that you can smell. On your next big breath, bring your attention to the most obvious smell. Is there a most obvious smell? Bring all of your attention to the air flowing in through your nose and play the game. What is the most obvious thing that you can smell? Take your next deep breath. Repeat smell by trying to discern what is the faintest thing that you can smell. Try and do it in one big slow breath, but if there's nothing, take a couple more smaller breaths and find what is there that you can smell. Take your next deep breath. Taking a step down, moving to your mouth and what it is that you can taste. On your next big breath, as you dive deep inside, what is the most obvious taste that you have right now? Take your next deep breath. duplicating taste on your next big breath. What is the faintest underlying taste that you can discern right now? Take a deep breath. Moving your attention to your skin. On your next big breath, diving down inside. What is the most obvious sensation on your skin that you can feel? Take your next deep breath. Duplicating the skin feeling on your next big breath. What is the softest, gentlest, slightest sensation that you can feel anywhere on your skin? Take your next big breath. Let's take one more deep breath to slip from this space into the next smooth space of being. deep breath in. And hold. And slowly release. Feel yourself melting, dissolving, flowing into that beautiful space of floating. Check in with all your senses again, from top to bottom. We're presented with multiple opportunities to come to our senses during the day. The most obvious ones are every time you take a sip of a drink, or every time you eat something. The invitation is to become conscious of exactly what it is you're drinking or eating. Stopping for a moment, taking a deep breath while you taste all of the layers in what you're eating or drinking. In the busy world we live in, we consume mindlessly so easily. Consuming mindlessly often means we consume way too much. And there's a connection between the things we physically consume and everything else we financially consume. Puts strain on resources and creates trash that puts another type of strain on resources. It starts with becoming present with what we're consuming when we put it in our mouths. Stop for a moment, really taste, really smell, and use the opportunity to really hear, really see, really feel as well. Every moment of stopping and coming to our senses brings us to being conscious, more mindful, less mindless. Coming to the end of today's meditation, join me in taking 5 last breaths of gratitude. On every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. And hold. Sorry, no holding. That's done. Thank you. Thank you for this body. thank you for this vehicle I have been given to navigate my time on this planet. Deep breath in. Thank you for being able to explore using all of my senses. Another deep breath in. Thank you for the reminder to stop and do that exploring in a conscious moment. Like the old saying, don't forget to stop and smell the roses. One more deep breath in. And thank you to everybody coming on the journey with us today. I hope you enjoyed the journey of your senses. Try and remember the next thing you do, the next sip you take, the next bite of food you take, to stop and taste and smell. And while you're stopping and tasting and smelling, just take the moment to really see, really hear, and really feel as well. I kind of feel like when we forget to do this, we're missing out on this human experience as well. Thank you so much for your time this morning. Let me say a quick hello to Cornelie. Good morning. Thank you for joining us, Cornelie. Dino, I hope you did the whole meditation with us, dude. That would be really cool. Kieran, good morning. Charlene, good morning. Albrecht, good morning. Kit, good morning. Good morning, good evening, Kit. I'm not sure exactly where you are at. Thank you for joining. I hope you got to do the whole meditation with us, Kit. Nella, good morning to you. And Philip, good morning to you. And then all the beautiful messages at the bottom. Thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful day. Connected to your senses. Lots of love for you guys. See you same time again tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.